Oh my God. Hi.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hello. How are
What
you?
a treat. I'm great. How are you?
I'm in the best mood. I feel like we just had the best time with the nicest guy ever. What a darling
We did.
gem.
Adorable. Adorable. Logan Donovan, who, well, I'm not going to tell you how I happened upon him. You're just going to have to listen for 5 more minutes and you'll happen upon that story. This guy, Logan Donovan, actor, filmmaker, photographer, podcaster, collaborator of many things. He has this Story Engine Productions, which is this company that brings storytellers together. I mean, there's everything. He does it all. But we're not even here to talk to him about that, are we?
No, we're not. We talk about something far more important.
Far
Just
more
kidding.
important than the arts.
But honestly,
It kind of is, because it's about
kind of is.
relationships. And if we don't have that, people, we have nothing. Have you not learned anything yet?
Today, we really dive in on the topic of male and female friendships, aka the question, the big $1 million question that we all ask ourselves for many, many years. It's an endless debate. Can men and women be
Can men
friends?
and women be friends?
Can
That
they?
was Harmony. We're about to find out.
It was a really interesting conversation. I loved hearing his perspective. We all kind of had nuanced and slightly differing views on the topic, so it created a lot of really interesting conversation. This is something that I've been debating forever, for years. I mean, since puberty. Can men and women actually legitimately be friends? So we dive into all of that today, learn about Logan, his life, how he got to LA and became the star that he is today. So it was a really fun conversation, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
My God.
Oh my God.
Let's get into it.
Oh
Oh my God. Hi, Logan Donovan. Welcome to Oh My God.
Logan.
Oh my
I'm dying.
God, it's so nice to be here.
It's
Very
so,
nice to be here. So nice to see you again, Lisi. This is
I
our
mean-
second time seeing each other.
It's our second time, but I need to just start with our origin story because it is such a meet cute. It's a podcast meet cute. We met in Montecito, California. Why? Because Wyatt, my guy, we were there for a water polo tournament for our sons, and Wyatt was banned from several of the games because he got into a fight with a ref. So we decided to make a very big meal out of it, which, I mean, I was kind of stoked, to be honest. And we couldn't go to the games, so while all the other parents were sitting at the games, Wyatt and I did a little food and wine tour of Montecito, and we bellied up to a bar, an adorable bar at a restaurant called Clark's, and Logan was sitting beside Wyatt. And as it always happens, Wyatt starts talking about wine, and he impresses everybody with his knowledge of food and wine. And Logan, you seemed very impressed and taken with Wyatt for a very long time. Were you not?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very charismatic guy, you know?
Totally.
Yes. I was just sitting there very patiently waiting for my turn to jump in. And when I finally jumped in, you and I started having quite the rapport. I did not know you were an actor, producer, writer, director, podcaster, any of it. I just thought you were this very charming, engaging guy who gives really good conversation at a random bar. And I remember saying to you, I think before I even knew anything about you, I just really like talking to you because you're so authentic and present. Do you remember that, or had the alcohol kicked in
Yeah,
by
you
then?
actually also said that I was a very good listener.
Yes.
And it's
Wow.
it's one of my favorite compliments I've gotten from a stranger. Not that I have like a huge list of compliments from strangers, but it felt really good because I try to be a good listener.
That is a really nice compliment. If someone said that to me, I'd be very taken by it.
Yeah, and I'll pay a compliment back. When I'm speaking to someone as engaging and interesting as Lisi and Wyatt, it's easy to just listen
Aw.
and be engaged. So
Why, thank you. Yes, so we became besties, and at the end is when I found out he was an actor and then was starring and had produced this movie, The Twin, which is a horror, psychological horror. And I said I would watch it, which was something that I have to be honest, I kept kicking down the road because I am so deathly afraid of horror.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a scaredy cat. Yeah.
Very much so. I made my son who had returned from college watch it with me because he can do horror, and we had a great time watching it. But I'm laughing because I remember when I was leaving you at Clark's, I said, well, which twin do you identify with most, having knowing nothing about the film yet? And you looked at me like I was insane, and you're like, I think that kind of speaks for itself, because one of the twins was very dark and scary.
Can I just tell from my perspective this story? Okay, so Logan, Lisi and I send each other on average, probably an hour's worth of voice notes back and forth to each other all day, every day.
True.
I mean, this morning was probably like a 12-minute monologue on my part. And we also send each other pictures of our cocktails when we're having, like a little drinky drink. We'll send each other a pic. And so Lisi was at Clark's, and she sent me a picture of her cocktail and said, oh my God, I'm at this place called Clark's. Cut to like 2 hours later, I get a slurred voice message from Lisi being like, I met the coolest guy. He's going to come on the podcast. And now here we are. It took a minute, but we're here.
It really was a magical afternoon at Clark's at the bar.
Fun.
I do want to talk about your origin story. I mean, you're a California boy and knew you wanted to act at age 12, I believe.
Yeah.
Is this true? How do you know? How does a 12-year-old know this?
I mean, it's a good question. And I didn't really know until, I think it was 6th grade. We did the project of what are you going to be when you grow up? And it really it gave me pause. I wasn't the typical, A student. I was pretty much, I was going to have fun. I was going to see my friends. I was going to hang out. My favorite thing in the world was, going to the movies, making movies with my friends on little camcorders and splicing them. Yeah, music, stupid music videos.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
When the question popped up, I had been doing theater, musical theater. I was kind of the class clown. I loved movies. I just thought, I like movies more than anything, and I really like being in plays, and people seem to think I'm good at it.
And school plays and stuff like that?
Yeah. School plays, outside of school plays.
Okay.
Musical theater at first.
Theater kids are a different breed. So I was a theater kid. I grew up doing musical theater. I made my Broadway debut at 10. It's a lot. I'm really a theater kid is what I mean. I did community theater and stuff here in Austin, and it was everything. It was totally my thing and my identity outside. I had my school friends, but then I had my theater friends, and I loved all my theater friends. And it's kind of transcended and crossed over into my adult life. I still feel that way. I have my normal people friends that I call muggles, and then I have my crazy theater friends. So you sing?
I used to. Before my voice changed, I could sing. Yeah.
Okay. You probably still can. If you could then, you probably could now.
So I went to drama school at North Carolina School of the Arts, and we had a lot of singing training, vocal work. I did the extra, tutorials outside of school. I put my all into it, and it just never really blossomed. And then I did 23andMe, and it turns out I have the gene trait that makes it more difficult for me to sing on tune. I don't know how they can figure that out, but I related to that.
This is what I always say to people. If you can sing along in the radio, if you can match pitch, if you have somewhat of an ear, you can learn to sing well. My high school choir director made people the most incredible singers. He was the most unbelievable teacher. And I really do believe that. But if you're tone deaf and if you can't match pitch, I don't know what to tell you. It's a little bit.
I can match some pitch. I just have a very low voice now.
Okay,
Singing
got
voice.
it. Got it.
And, sometimes I do think oh, maybe I'll just go find a great coach, because I love singing.
Okay, so after University of North Carolina, where? LA?
The dream growing up was New York, and it really held strong until I got to New York after school. I signed a lease with 2 of my classmates, and the next day let them know I was going to be moving to LA.
You're
why?
kidding.
I'm not kidding. It was
What?
It was the one of the strongest gut instincts of oh, I have I don't want to necessarily. I have to go to LA.
I've had like 5 of those in my life. Like I literally call them tugs.
Yeah.
It's these moments that are stronger than an instinct or a hunch. You're compelled. They are a compulsion and they are non-negotiable and they make no sense. And there's no empirical evidence to back up that you're making the right decision. But it almost does make me believe in some sort of cosmic force or meant to be or past life, something in the woo-woo space, because it's undeniable. And that definitely is probably one of your major life-changing tugs.
Big time. Yeah. Big time.
What was it though? Just the feeling, I have to go.
Exactly. I had no rational thought that made enough sense to do that.
I just can't imagine getting to the city. Like, Lisi and I are such New York people that it's like, can you even fathom that? Like, I get there and I'm like, I never want to leave. It's like, I come alive when I'm there. So it's like, where was this apartment? Like, was it just horrible? Like, what happened that you were like, I've got to go?
No, it was a great apartment. It was a great apartment. in Greenpoint.
Oh, come on.
So not Manhattan.
Yeah. No,
Maybe
it was lovely. It was it was big.
Yeah.
Like, it was lovely.
Oh my God. And you can rent it now for about $10,000 a month.
An hour. Yeah.
Yeah, because Greenpoint's like really bougie now.
Amazing location. I had the best time. And I think if I lived too long in New York, it would kill me.
Yeah. Your factory settings are woo-woo for sure.
I'm a Leo.
Same.
Leos are my favorite. They're my favorites. I have so many Leos in my life. It's crazy. I don't really know if I believe in any of that stuff. I've talked to Lisi about this, but the amount of people in my life that are the same is peculiar. And I have a ton of Leos. I have a ton of Geminis. I have a ton of Scorpios.
What are you?
I'm a Pisces.
I want to know if this pull to LA paid off. I mean, it did, obviously, but right away, did it pay off? Or were you like, what the hell did I do?
I think, the thing that I can really point to, which has been the biggest game changer in my life, is meeting my meditation teacher, Betty Jones. She teaches transcendental meditation. And in 2009, a little more than a year after I got here, I met her and I learned, and it just literally blew my brains out. I'm someone, I was going to say, I don't know if you know the Enneagram.
Of course.
I'm a strong 7.
Okay, wait, so major introvert? Is that what we're talking about? Because
no, enthusiast.
But the 5 is the introvert, because I think I'm the combo.
I'm not 5.
No, but
I'm not 5.
This is about me.
Okay.
So that's my 7. My Leo is saying, no, Logan, this is about me right now. My Leo 5-7 is taking over. I see your 7 and I raise you a 5.
Yeah.
I think I've got 7 to my seconds are 2, 3, which are tied. That's why I say New York would kill me, because I want to do everything fun all the time and I'd probably be dead. I mean, it was hard enough surviving LA when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
But that being said, learning to meditate, my mind just, it became so peaceful comparatively.
Wow. What is transcendental meditation? Explain what that is.
Yeah, so to learn is a 4-day process. It's a Vedic science, so it's very quite old from India, and it uses the natural science of vibration, and so the vibrations are the mantras, and the mantras take form in how we speak them, and as a mantra goes silent, they say it's even more powerful because it works just deeper in the mind, and so there's thousands of mantras. But when you learn, you get your initiation, and so it's a very simple process of just literally sitting comfortably, closing your eyes, and gently bringing your attention to the mantra, not necessarily actively thinking it, but just trying to be present with it. So it basically takes your conscious attention, and it just pulls it down below the active mind, and in that state, your body goes into deep rest. Some say, I think the studies say it's twice as deep as sleep, and your body just starts releasing stress, physical stress, emotional stress, mental stress.
Wow.
And then as your body's doing that, a flood of thoughts come, and it's whoa, this is a lot. And then you're okay, just let that go, come back to the mantra. And then it just purges more. And so consistency of that over time is
Do you meditate
crazy.
Daily?
Yes, twice a day.
It's
Twice
20
a
and
day.
20, right? It's 20 minutes morning, 20 minutes
20
night.
minutes and 20
Twice a
minutes,
day.
yeah.
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 And you do it every day. About friends, one of the things that stood out is you have a lot of female friends. And we wanted to talk about, can men and women, age-old question, truly be friends? Or does it always end in, the Harry met Sally, like either full romance or just one person gets their heart broken,
right?
And
Yeah.
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
are a lot of your friends, and the relationships for you are probably very important because they're sort of bridging. Like, you have your collaborator relationships and the relationships that you make on set, which are very deep, very fast, and then over. And that's very difficult on a lot of levels.
It's intense.
And the people that sort of bridge you from project to project, the constants, who are these people? Are these muggles or are these showbiz types? Who are they? The people that are your core?
They're all artists of
Right.
One of my best friends is a dancer. The other is a writer, actor, director. I mean, it's mostly creatives. I mean, but that being said, before drama school, like in high school, my first girlfriend had this great group of girls who were all awesome and so fun. And that's kind of when this whole thing started of like, can I be friends with a girl?
Right.
Is it like allowed? Is it possible? Can I override my like young male sex drive and like my insecurities really?
Right.
Yeah.
And just like be friends.
Well,
Yeah.
can you?
I really like the change in vibe when I can hang out with a female.
Mhm.
It's so different.
Mhm.
Like the bro vibe is the bro vibe, and it's amazing and it's great. The competition of just trying to be an actor in LA alone is like a lot of masculine energy.
It's funny. That's what I mean. I have this theory that I keep maintaining. I mean, Ellen and I talk about female friendship dynamics on this podcast a lot. My whole professional life is female friendship dynamics. And one of the things I maintain is the reason they're so fraught is because of competition, is like at the center of every female dramatic moment or unnecessarily dramatic moment is competition. Because for women, it was always this sense of, there's not enough to go around, whether that's professional opportunities or guys or whatever it is. We've always been made to feel like we have to fight for what we can possibly get.
Right.
And to hear you talking about male competition, what are your bro competitive issues? Like, what's the bro on bro issue?
I'm going to have like maybe a different perspective than a lot of people just because, a lot of my male friends are artists as well. And
Yeah.
Right.
they are very open and like communicative and wise. But I would say the difference between the female and the male is like, well, with guys, it's kind of like we encourage each other and we push each other, like, which is, like I said, amazing. But I think there's less willingness to deep dive into more vulnerability, like real, like baseline foundational vulnerability of like, this is how I'm feeling. With guys, it's more the thing of like, hey guys, I could use a pick me up. Like, let's go do something. Like, let's get into action.
Right. Men generally are very fearful of being called weak, and people see vulnerability as weakness. Like, I think that's probably a huge element of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when guys are together, they wanna represent and like be seen for like their masculine traits.
Right.
Right.
I'm very capable. I'm very
Right.
able. I'm able-bodied. I have the mental fortitude. I am
I'm
together.
a protector and
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then so did you guys get competitive with like, that guy's hotter than I am, or that guy's going to get all the girls, or like, seriously, because that's a thing. Does that ever come into play subconsciously? Or?
It's a great question. I think I personally have like really tried for a long time to just take the mindset of like, if I look up to somebody for their attributes, like when I was younger, it'd be like, going to the gym with my buddies who go to the gym a lot and be like, teach me how to do this. Because I want to look like that. I want to feel better. I want to be strong.
Right.
I'm very curious by nature. I'm someone who like likes to hang around people that I admire or look up to, just to like really understand like, okay, well, what's the ingredients here? What can I harvest from this and how can I implement it?
That's healthy. Like, if you see someone that is in better shape, you're not going to be like, oh, I want to shadow you so I can also be in better shape.
Like, I think one of my philosophies of life is like, how can I get the most out of this?
Right.
experience.
You have to be scrappy though too. Like when you do what we do and like when you take the swings that we take in this industry and like you go to LA and you're taking this huge swing, like you've got to really just be a gatherer of information and of resources because it's too hard otherwise. Like, and you'll fall behind if you don't latch onto people who better you, you know, and a lot of people get out there and they hang around with the wrong people. It's so funny to me when people are like, how did she fall apart? I'm like, about, you know, a child actor that's gone off the deep end or whatever. It's like she had terrible people around her. I mean, you know, it's that's usually the case. So it's important to surround yourself with people that you aspire to.
I agree. And, you know, and it's also one of those things of like, don't put anybody on a pedestal. You know, I've done that a lot. And it's really humbled me to when I see them for who they really are as like a real person. I mean, it's like, oh, great. Well, I was just holding myself back because I told myself I wasn't that, you know, and I was saying, oh, well, they do it. You know, it's like an othering, a separate. Isn't
it funny though, too, when you hear people talk about you and like, you hear people talk about you the way that you talk about other people. And it's like, like I've been in that position where like, I'm such a fucking loser. Like my life sucks. And then other people are like, this is Ellen. She's been on Broadway. She's done all of this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I mean, yeah.
I want to meet that girl.
All right. Like that sounds pretty all right. Everyone feels the same way. Yeah.
So what are the female friendships giving you that the male friendships are not?
I always feel like there's a great balance that comes when like I'm hanging out with one of my female friends. My female friends at this point, like we're so far beyond the idea of like, you know, anything romantic. Like we are like, you know, like brother and sister at this point.
Well, you weren't always. So you had to cross over the sexual attraction part that was probably inevitable.
One of my best friends is actress Molly Ephraim, who I love to death. And when we first met, it was through friends at an engagement party. And we just said hi, nothing tracked. And then I was in a relationship and then I got out of it and I was a total mess. And we had a friend in common who was like, hey, you're both in a similar place. I think you guys should just, you know, work it out together. And so like we met and I felt so awkward and she's gorgeous. But there wasn't that thing of like, oh, this is a person for me. It was just like, she's beautiful. My friends think I should take a swing. And so we hung out for a while and I was like, at the end, I was like, hey, well, you want to like get a drink sometime or meet up? And she's like, no, I'm good. And I was like, oh, God.
I'm like, in love.
God damn. Okay. Ouch. And then I ended up in a radio play with one of her friends and we met again and instantly just like really hit it off as friends. And we had already gone through like is this or is this not? We already knew that was not. And, you know, it's just been one of my favorite friends. And we're like brother and sister. We just have the best time together. We can like, you know, air our dirty laundry and we can celebrate each other. And really, she's hilarious and so fun to be around. And now she's married to like another guy, that guy who's like also like one of my favorite people. And then they made a human who's like my favorite person.
The best.
Who thinks I'm the best. And so, you know, it's just like really great.
Yeah.
I love the variety. Like I'm somebody who loves variety.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like guy friends, girlfriends, the whole spectrum.
So you obviously think that men and women can be friends. What do you think, Lisi? Can men and women be friends? Because I have so many thoughts about what you just said.
I mean, I think they definitely can. Most of my friendships were male for a very long time. And I loved the ability to just not have to be polite, or my darker sense of humor could just fly without worrying about offending anybody, or if I was late for something, or if I had to cancel, like they didn't care. So it was a much more simplistic, fun relationship than with girlfriends that was a little more fraught all the time. But it did always get a little tricky.
It gets tricky.
Like,
I know.
A lot of times one person is liking the other person and it just gets a little weird. And then if, let's say, I started dating someone else, then there's a little bit of anger or feelings of betrayal that I didn't even know were on the table. Like there's some undertones there for sure.
Yeah.
And then I found that when I got divorced and I was single, a lot of people just don't invite you if you don't have that other person. And so it does get complicated. But I've always valued male friendships so much and always had them and loved them.
Yeah. I think what you were talking about before, like the male competition that I was talking about, and you were talking about the female competition, like when a guy and a gal can come together and be friends without those competitive ingredients, it's just like really like relieving.
Right.
It is. But
It's
then
like
there's the
really
sexual thing.
This is where I'm giving you, Logan, a pat on the back, because most guys in the scenarios that you expressed, if a girl said like, nah, I'm good, like when that's happened to me, which that has happened to me, is that I'm sure that's happened to you, where a guy, like, you are hanging out with a guy and you think you're friends, and then all of a sudden he's like trying to kiss you and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? And then they go away. They're like, you're dead to me. Like, that's usually what happens.
Or they become very mean.
Or they get mean and hateful. And like the fact that you just like accepted that and you were like, okay, cool, we can be friends. Like, that's so rare. You're kind of an exception to the rule in that regard. Like, most men would retreat and like you'd never see them again.
Well, I will say, like, the one attribute about me that has proven true is like when I meet someone and like the sparks fly and I'm like, I'm going to date this person. And so like in that one instance that I gave you, like I didn't have that feeling. I was also not in a place to even be available to that feeling.
Sure.
So like when it was a nah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I was like, okay.
Maybe relief. Like, well, now that doesn't have to play into it.
Yeah, like I was doing it because I thought I should.
Right. That's also a very mature and normal approach. And most men that I've experienced, their ego gets so bruised that like all that other shit doesn't even matter. It's like, you don't want to date me. And then they turn into the devil.
Yeah. And I also think like I'm someone who's really driven by making decisions based on regret. Will I regret this down the road? Like, I'm terrified that I'll regret something later. And so if there's like a girl that, you know, even if I'm a little bit attracted to them, but I also just think they're awesome and I just want to spend time with them. And like, if I think like, okay, if I go for this and I don't really think it's going to happen or on the table and I mess that up, then I won't even get to be friends with them.
Aww.
But if I can like invest in the friendship side of it and just grow that and forget about the rest, it's always proven to be like, honestly, pretty easy. Like,
what happens if they start dating someone? Does that ever trip you up?
No. The only time that would trip me up is if I don't like the person they're dating, because that means I don't want to hang out with them anymore. I have to say I have really good choice in friends, and they tend to like they've gotten together with people that I'm like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. Let's all hang out. Like I'm also like when I'm single, I love to be a third wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love third. Yes. I'm
do
such a fan. It's so much more interesting than all couples, and then nothing makes me more annoyed than when the girls all talk to the girls and the guys all talk to the guys. I'm like, I'm always with the guys. Or like, let's mix it up.
It feels like middle school. It's like girls' table and boys' table. It drives me nuts. I can't, like, we're in our 30s and I still see this at parties. I'm like, all the husbands are over here and all the wives are over here and talking about their breast milk supply. Like, I'm over it. Like, can we just talk about something else?
And now in my case, it's like menopause and balding. I don't know. It's
totally. So this is kind of where I was going to go. So I've had this debate with my boyfriend endlessly because he is like you, Logan, because he's just the nicest, sweet little gem. And he's like, men and women can be friends. Like, why not? Because he's like a nice guy and doesn't expect every girl that he ever meets to like want to sleep with him. You know what I mean? Like, normal. And so he is of that mindset. His best friend is also a girl, but they've been best friends since kindergarten. So it's like a childhood friend, which I'm like, that's more like family. Like, that's different. So we've had this conversation and my answer is always no, men and women can't be friends. So I'll elaborate on this because it gets sticky, as Lisi was talking about. And it's not because of the way that I feel. It's like, especially now that I'm in my 30s and everyone's getting married and there's like all these dynamics at play. For example, my boyfriend's best friend is a woman who's married. I'm very close with her and her husband. But like, I'm not getting drinks with her husband by myself. Like, I'm not texting him separately unless I'm like unless I need help getting Clive, my boyfriend, like a Christmas present and I need his help, I'm not like keying with her husband. And so, like, I say no because we're not one-on-one friends. So, like, are you really my friend? But, like, we're friends. We all go to dinner together all the time. Like, we spend holidays together. We love each other. That's all, like, good and it's all there. But there are these boundaries that get so defined the older that we get and the more that our relationships get defined that it's like, I'm not texting, like, Clive's friends, who I consider to be, like, friends of mine that are men. Like, I'm not talking to them unless I'm texting them about how, like, beautiful their wife looks or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason I'm reaching out. So that's kind of like where it gets a little bit sticky. It's case by case. It's very case by case. But, like, generally, I feel like that's why people say men and women can't be friends. All of those social constructs and dynamics, which a lot of people say, fuck that, and, like, throw that out the window, and that's all just a social construct and I don't need it. But it's still there in our culture.
I think they should be friends. I think it is of the healthiest relationships you could possibly have, especially as a teenager, especially in your 20s. Like, to know how the other side is living, to be able to get, because we do, like Logan, you were saying, you get so much more vulnerability and intimacy, and there's sides of yourself that you connect with and open up and share that you wouldn't with guys. Like it or not, we can psychoanalyze it till the day we die. What's the point?
I also am making the connection to what I said earlier of, like, investigating to, you know, to get information about things that I want.
Well, it doesn't demystify it. At the end of the day, you're like, oh, they're just as fucked up as I am, but for different reasons. Like, it does, to your earlier point, take them off a pedestal. They're not so other. You're like, oh,
Totally.
I see how that sausage is made. Yeah.
It definitely shed new light on, you know, what do girls want? You know, because, you know, what guys think girls want in the vacuum is...
Okay, so what have you learned that girls want? What do you think girls want?
Good listener.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
I think that's probably the number one. They want to feel safe, emotionally, physically.
Mm-hmm. Adored, seen.
Yeah, I mean, and then you kind of get into the minutia, like every person, you know, is it gifts, is it compliments, is it time spent, you know,
Right.
that
I
whole
love
game.
that. What is your love language?
This I love, yes.
I love it because it is real. Everybody does have love language, and you can't treat people with your love language. It's not going to work. You have to know theirs. Logan, what is your love language?
I am known to say all of them,
You
but
can't.
but the ones that are like, like the forefront is time spent. Like, I like doing things with people. I like to be with people, and like physical touch
Shared
also.
experiences, quality time.
Shared experience. Like, let's go do something. Let's see something. Let's experience something.
Yeah. Ellen, what's yours?
Mine, my top two are, as a shock to no one, words of affirmation and gifts.
Same. Mine isn't gifts. It's words of affirmation.
I always make the joke, tell me I'm amazing and buy me shit. Seriously. I'm kidding. Like, gifts could be a cup of coffee. Gifts could be a love note. Like, any, like, sort of little token of, like, I love you and I'm thinking about you. In that kind of way, like, that's what it doesn't have to be Chanel. It's, you know, it's a gift. But but I do, but then it's hard because my boyfriend's like you, he's quality time. And I'm like, you don't want me to just sit here and tell you how fabulous and gorgeous you are all the time. And he's like, I'm good. I'm like, so good. I don't need that.
Like, I want to be that way. And with age, do you think it's gotten easier for these relationships to not get messy? Do you think age plays into it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think relationships are complicated, and they'll always, like, find the spots that I don't want to work on or see and just fucking blow them up.
Right.
And I think, like, realizing, you know, that patience is the virtue in a relationship, and
grace. Grace is also,
and that, like, tolerance, grace, benefit of the doubt is, like, worth gold. But yeah, like, I think the main thing as I'm getting older is, like, just communicate. Just call it, just say what it is from the top.
Totally.
Be really transparent so that when things pop up, you can be, you know, it's not a mystery why things are happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can be like, great, I totally hear you. I've been clear, and the path forward is pretty pretty cut and dry.
Well, speaking of giving grace,
Amen.
we do have a segment on this show called Mean Girl Amends. And so I don't know if you're familiar with Lisi's #1 New York Times bestselling series. It's all about mean girls in middle school. And so every episode we like to ask our guest if you have a mean girl or a mean guy amends in your case of just like, why was I such a little shit in high school? And like, why did I have to do that? And just to kind of like absolve your guilt. I actually have one that pertains to this topic today.
Ooh.
My mean girl amends from high school is, and this all relates, I tortured my boyfriends in high school. The way that I was like the devil, like it was at that age where like no one's really having sex yet, like sorry to be graphic. And it's like I knew the power that I held in that moment and I abused the shit out of it.
How?
Oh, like exactly the kind of stuff that we're talking about today. I would like string along like 3 guy friends at the same time and be like, I don't know who I'm going to choose. Like, oh, the devil.
Oh.
Like literally awful, awful. But I knew the power that I held in that moment. I also had a boyfriend, shout out Casey Sandino, and we're friendly to this day. He's married now, love him. But he was my boyfriend my junior year of high school. And I had broken up with somebody right before I started dating him. And he was like head over heels in love with me. I'm talking like bringing me flowers, I'm addicted to Diet Coke. I always have been. Always going to get me like a Diet Coke at 7-Eleven, buying me food, giving me a ride every day. And I was like, I don't want a boyfriend. Yeah, he was literally my boyfriend for a year, join at the hip. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I said no, but then we just continued all those shenanigans. And then when I like said, we're done doing what we're doing, he's like, I can't believe this. You're like breaking up with me. And I go, how could I break up with you? We were never a couple. Like,
oh, damn.
Devil, literally evil. And we've like laughed about it over drinks years later. He's like, Ellen, you gave me a gift. Like, you were my first heartbreak. But he was like, I went through like terrible heartbreak at 16. Thank God I did instead of like college. Like, I would have been a wreck and, you know, it would have been so much worse. Like, the older that I had been. You kind of did me a favor. And I'm like, you're welcome. But that's my mean girl amends. I tortured these boys in high school. It was hell. I shouldn't have done that. In my 20s, I would literally be like, go on a bad date. And I'm like, this is my karma for the shit that I pulled in high school. Like, this is literally like my karma biting me in the ass. Do you have a mean guy amends?
So when I was in, I think it was 7th grade, for whatever reason, all of a sudden, girls wanted to be my girlfriend. And that was very overwhelming for me. They would ask me out.
Yes.
And I would have a friend break up with them for me. One of my best friends at the time, Dominic Colacchio, great guy. We were like attached to the hip for a long time. He was dating this really beautiful girl from a different school district. He was really excited about it and he was crazy about her. And I met her and we all hung out and she was like, who are you? And I was like, well, hey.
Oh my God.
You know, like she was like, if she was at our school, she would have been like one of the hottest girls at school. And like, you know, I wasn't like the most popular guy at school, but she broke up with him and called me and she's like, hey, so I want you to be my boyfriend. Ooh. And I was like, oh, brother, this puts me in a tough place because I got my best friend who's like heartbroken. And then I have this beautiful girl who's like, be my boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, I really want that also. And so I called him and I was like, hey, would you mind if I dated her? And there was a pause and he's like, no, man, that's cool. Like, yeah, if you want to do that, like,
Never believe that answer.
Never.
And so
I did it. And like, this girl was way too much horsepower for me.
Was it worth it?
Ooh.
No, God, no. And so I have to make amends. I'm sorry, Dominic. That was the wrong move.
I mean, your karma just got laundered. Nicely done.
No, that's
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I feel good too. Do we move on to Ask a GLU?
Yes. So a GLU stands for Girls Like Us. So the girls like us write in with any sort of question they might have, and we give them sometimes good advice. And now we are roping you into this and feel like you can definitely add to the situation.
I actually think you'll be very valuable in speaking to this. So this is what our question is this week. Our girlie says, first off, obsessed with both of you, the ClickBooks and the pod. God bless you. My question for you is how to make adult friends in this day and age. I just moved to the middle of nowhere, Missouri with my partner, and I'm having a super hard time meeting any GLUs. How do I find them? Where are they hiding these days?
Okay, Logan, would you like to start?
Yeah, I think the best advice I got from a friend post divorce in terms of like how to meet new people, whether a partner or otherwise, was stop going to bars if you're not like a bar person,
Yeah.
and trying to like meet friends that you're going to like really connect with. Just ask yourself, like, what do I love to do? And then find the spaces in your community where you can go and do the thing that you love. And chances are that the people who are there doing the thing that they love are gonna connect, and you guys are gonna vibe. And
Right.
it gives you something to build a relationship around, rather than just like saying, I need a friend,
I could not agree more.
Totally.
I think that's
Where
good
have you
advice.
had success meeting friends when you moved to LA? Like, where did you meet people? Like acting class? That's where I made a lot of my friends, was like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acting class, a lot of friends of friends. And I was really lucky that, I came to LA with a strong core from the North Carolina School of the Arts. When I got out here, it just happened to line up with when they were starting an alumni organization out here, and they asked me to like help, and I'm like, okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
And so I met a lot of people.
But then you have a built-in network of people. Like I relate to this, and I don't really have advice for this, GLU, because I'm kind of in the same pickle. I moved to Austin, and I've been here for almost 3 years, and it's kind of tough because I'm like, I don't know where to find them.
I'm not letting you have that because we've talked about this. And no. And this is what I want to say to you and the GLUs. You are a phenomenal singer. You are very outgoing and gregarious and magnetic. And you live in a town with 10 million like bars that have singers in them or whatever they're called. You can just walk into any of these places, belly up to the piano and let it rip. You could get a job at any of these places. You could. And even if it's not like early retirement money, it's just community money. It's just emotional money. And I feel like with the GLU too, even if you're volunteering somewhere, you just will put yourself in social situations. And then don't be afraid to be the one to follow up and put yourself out there and say, hey, you want to go hang? Like people want to make friends, especially now. Everyone's so isolated and lacking community that is in 3 dimensions. And I think people will be more open to it than you think. Everybody wants to be liked and asked out by a friend.
Yeah. Ellen, I don't know you very well, but I'm sure you're a good friend.
She's an amazing friend.
Just like for context, like all of my friends are gay men and they all live in New York City. So it's like, so I have friends. I talk to them 24 hours a day as I talk to Lisi, even though we've only seen each other once in person in the past like 3 years. That's good advice. Like go find a hobby and connect with people on your hobby. I think is really great advice.
It's easier to friend date than look for like a romantic partner by a long shot, because anyone will meet you for a drink, for coffee, a walk, a hike, whatever it is, if they don't feel like you're being predatory.
I understand this girl's dilemma because like for dating, like there are systems in place. Like we have apps, like, it's like, okay, and I'll go get a drink with this guy and go on a date, and if it goes well, I'll see him again. And then like there's kind of a built-in system.
There should be a friend app.
There's like Bumble BFF and all that kind of there's all
okay.
sorts of stuff like that. So maybe try one of those and see how it works out. But
or just go into the world, like go where you want to be, go where you want to hang out, and like you'll find people. They're all like
take classes. I'd say
take classes. I love that. If you're athletic, like join some sort of team for
that is a
people
great
your
call.
age. That's a huge one.
It's huge.
Yeah.
My best friend is so good at that. He's like in a gay volleyball league. It's fabulous. And like he's met so many fun people through that. Yeah.
There's ways, people. There's ways. You got to put yourself out there.
Should we do our State of the Union? Every week on this show, we do our current State of the Union inspired by Massey Block in the Click series, where we give our in and our out for the week. Today, since Logan's here, Lisi's going to give her in and out, I'm going to give my in and out, and Logan's going to give his in and out for the week. And I will start based off of this conversation, this episode. A lot of what we talked about today was like male and female friendships and the boundaries that have to be established in that. And I think that that's where they can be the most successful, is by having clear boundaries. So my in for the week is boundaries, and my out is a term that you coined so beautifully, boundaria.
Boundaria.
Which is our word for loose and watery boundaries.
There. Good one. And your wordplay is really...
It's improving.
You're nailing it. Yes, it is.
I
so
fully
proud of you.
I just ripped you off, but you know. Lisi, what's your in and out for the week?
I always start with my out for some reason. So which doesn't make sense. But my out is friends with benefits. apropos, am I in is friends with podcasts. How cute. It's my sweetest in and out to date.
It really is. That's pretty earnest. How about you, Logan? What's your in and out?
I'm going to say in, going with the flow. Out, giving a fuck.
I love that. Go with the flow, give no fucks. Fabulous.
Yeah. Great job.
That feels nice.
I
nailed it.
love it. I love it so much.
Before we leave, which we don't ever want to do,
No.
Is there anything you want to, like, how can we find you? What are you working on?
I'm at Logan Donovan on Instagram, which has like some updates about projects I'm working on. As a photographer, I'm at Fahey Photo. That's FAHEYFOTO for my portrait work. I have some photo projects going that I'm excited about. I want to do a kind of a gallery show. My film, The Twin, for all you horror-loving girls out there. The Twin is streaming on Shudder. You can find it anywhere else you can rent or buy films online.
Logan, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and your insight was so fabulous. You're fabulous.
Honored to be here.
Can't wait to see what's next for you, and I can't wait for the GLUs to hear this episode because you are just an absolute delight. So thank you so much.
I have to say, I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to speak to both of you again.
Same, likewise.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Oh My God. I'm Ellen Marlowe.
And I'm Lisi Harrison. If you love the way we answered that question, please ask us so many more because you're going to love the way we answer all your future questions. We will right your ships. We will make you whole. Send your questions, comments, concerns to thestateofthereunion@gmail.com.
Yes, we would love to answer your questions. And thank you so much for listening to our show, Oh My God. We are available on all streaming platforms wherever you listen to podcasts. We're also available on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Oh My God Podcast. If you're just listening, there is a whole video going on, and it's also available on our Substack, which is stateofthereunion.net. Subscribe to our Substack. Lots of click content over there. Please leave a comment, a thumbs up, a like, a 5 stars. Engage with us. Send us questions to Ask a GLU. We want to say thank you so much to our producers, Isabella Betcher and Krista McLaughlin, and also our graphics goddess, Bella Tamayo. We could not do the show without you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Oh My God. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.